Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of Legends of Tomorrow. This time, it's Amazing Grace.
This was even better than I remembered.
Really? I mean, I don't hate it, but it's definitely not one of the ones that stand out to me in Season 3. It's still good. I mean, it's Legends. You can't go wrong with it.
The story of it just made me think, change a few little things here and there to do with continuity, and this would make a great movie.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're on about.
It was nice.
I mean, no, it's still a good episode. It's just nowhere near one of the ones that stand out to me in Season 3. It did have its plenty of good moments, of course. For one thing, I feel like this is the first proper episode since Wally joined the ship, and I like the little dynamic Wally and then Zari had. That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. Obviously, the big focal point of this episode is Elvis, which... It is an interesting point that they go to Elvis at the very inception of when he became Elvis, rather than, Elvis when he's more famous. Although I suppose that's what these shows have always done, like when we had George Lucas or J.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
They usually get people before they're famous. Although, I don't know, I felt like that wasn't as nearly as exciting as having the George Lucas episode in terms of the actual person.
I guess.
Maybe it's just because I don't care for the actor or Elvis or stuff like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, he did all right, but I don't know.
It was just jarring because they use different music, so it's clear that it's so blatantly obvious he's lip-syncing the music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which always makes it so jarring whether we switch to it.
Because I guess they wanted the music to sound just like Elvis, so he had to lip-sync.
I don't know. I guess the guy kind of looks like Elvis.
No, the twin looked more like Elvis.
The twin was the same actor.
I know, just his overall look looked more like what you'd expect Elvis to look like.
No, Elvis is usually most people usually depict Elvis wearing white, not...
No, the hair though, the hair.
All right, well, when I think of Elvis, I think of a white jacket, not Fonzie. I don't know. Well, I mean, to be fair,
I did
Elvis...
find it strange that most of the time when people die, their ghost looks like what they looked like when they died. This twin died as a baby. Shouldn't he be a ghost baby?
Well, we saw a moment where we saw the ghost looking like a bunch of the regular ghosts. So maybe it's more like because the death totem is connected to him, it's more just Elvis visualizing what he thinks his twin would look like. So the ghost kind of takes on that form since the death totem is connected to him.
Yeah, I guess so. I
don't know. These totems make up their own rules. We've got a brand new totem. It's a death totem. It's a sixth totem. This episode, by the way, completely a side point. This episode does one of my absolute favorite things in the entire history of Previouslys, where they add something where it's almost like they're talking in the Previously. There's that little bit at the end where, it shows Ray explaining the totems, and then it just has that bit with Damien Dark saying, "Good point, way to go, Ray," which has nothing to do with anything, and it's just like him talking.
Just fun.
I love that. I love the meta humor in these Legends episodes. Like when Mick kind of breaks the fourth wall, saying we're 4 totems up in the fourth quarter, and we're into the fourth quarter of this season. Which again, yeah, that's all the subtle ones. That's a nice subtle one that kind of goes over your head.
But poor Mick losing his friend.
We have another death in this season. The death of Axel, the rat we got in season 2, in one of my favorite episodes.
This hit me harder than it used to now that I'm a rodent parent.
You haven't lost your mice just yet.
I know, but it makes me imagine, what if I were to lose one of them?
It's okay, this episode is completely inaccurate for rodents anyway. There wasn't poop anywhere in this episode. That's I
know, his cage was surprisingly clean.
The cage was the exact same cage they kept the baby tiger in. Which, that cage had no bedding or anything.
Yeah. Where's his toys? He needs toys.
He just had a small cage with a ball. Oh, well. No more Axel. He only had 3 appearances in the whole show anyway. This episode, Doom World, and his first episode. Also, the thing at the end said he's been alive since 2015, so how did they know the rat had been alive that long?
Yeah, they don't know what time period he got on the ship or how old he was. Well, maybe you can try to detect how old he was, and then, like, they've got future tech with Gideon and stuff, they could probably figure out his age. And therefore, maybe they just assumed a birthday is 2015 based on their own timeline.
Yeah, and once again, we had an episode which is completely detached from most of the plot. I mean, you still got the plot of finding the totems, but there's no Damien Dark, there's no Nora.
I liked it, though.
Yeah, I know, I like it too. There's no mention of Mullis or anything like that. It's pretty much just solely focused on this plot. Other than just the fact that we need to get a totem, it's almost no connection, which I don't mind. Legends has always been the show that really excels at the episodes which take a break from the plot. Like, season 2, some of the best episodes in season 2 have nothing to do with the plot, like the Shogun episode or the zombie episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sometimes when we don't have episodes focused on the plot, we get really good episodes, and you clearly like this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go 8.5.
I'll go just an 8. It's still it's still Legends. I can never complain about Legends episodes, especially in the first 3 seasons. So, I mean, but but of season 3, it's not one that definitely stands out. To me, when I think of this episode, the only exciting thing is maybe the Wally stuff. Otherwise, I don't usually think of one.
I liked that they put a memorial thing at the end.
Yeah, of course, that was a fun little moment at the end, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many rats they used.
It doesn't matter. Some of it was probably CGI anyway.
The real question is, does Elvis actually have a twin that died as a baby?
I would assume that part's accurate. I'm no expert in Elvis. I do know just from basic reading on the wiki that like whenever time you've got a biographical movie, some stuff is wrong. Like apparently the first song he recorded is not the first song he recorded and whatever. Yeah, but whatever, Legends isn't known for being historically accurate.
Oh.
Yeah, so don't go using this as an expert on Elvis stuff. Anyway, the next episode is called Necromancing the Stone.
Oh, well, I know what comes next.
I mean, there's only 4 episodes left of this season.
Yeah.
We're getting down to the wire, and I'm excited for the last few episodes.
Yeah, I know what needs to happen next. So
Exactly.
That'll be fun.
This episode was nice and detached, but we've got to get back into that plot. Anyway, we'll see you next time for more Legends and other things as well.
See you next time, guys.